Hello, everyone. It's Fred once again. Thought I would share with you on this Earth Day one of the more exotic trips I took to the Arctic in 1974. I was still working on the gold mines in South Africa, but I, by that time, was now a manager on the mine, and I was chosen to be a delegate to the 10th Commonwealth Mining Congress held in Canada. And I was a South African delegate, even though I was a Canadian. And one of the trips we did to some of the interesting parts of the world was to the Arctic. And the picture that we're showing now is Resolute Bay, which I believe is on Cornwallis Island, one of the most northern communities, or I don't even know if it's a community, uh, I guess operations in Canada. And this was the weather station on Resolute Bay in 1974. And also whilst we were up there, we went to visit a place called Rea Point, REA Point, which I believe is on Melville Island, which is even a little bit further north, I believe, than Resolute Bay. And this is where they were drilling for oil or gas. And the company is Pan Arctic Oils. In 1974, it was owned, major shareholder was the Canadian government looking for oil and gas. And in fact, I believe Pan Arctic Oil did ship few 100,000 barrels of oil on a ship down to Montreal from some of the oil they discovered. And there's a lot of gas apparently as well. The challenge is to get it down south. And even though there's been discussion about pipelines coming, it's never, all of the oil and gas they found has never really been exploited. It's still there, from what I understand. And Pan Arctic Oils no longer exists. I believe Petro-Canada took over their shares from the government. Anyway, that was part of the trips. And whilst we were traveling, there were some other sites that we saw. For example, this was glaciers in the Rockies that we noticed. You can see the glacier. And also this was the airplane we were talking. It was 20-something of us who flew. There was actually a picture, somehow we seem to have skipped it. Let's see if I can go back and find it. It was of the rivers up in the Northwest Territories. There's the river. As you can see, it's snaking around. So those were some of the sites we saw. It was a few days trip up in the Arctic, and it was quite an interesting trip. So that's on Earth Day, a little bit of the part of the Earth that I was fortunate enough to visit in some of my travels. So I'm still on the boat, as you can see, and hopefully you'll be here for a while. It's pretty good isolation, and I don't want to get that virus. The more I hear about it, the less attractive it is. So I'm isolated, but I have been in communication with quite a few people. With Zoom meetings, had Zoom meetings with people in India and in South Korea, in fact, working on some youth manuals and youth programs, discussing that with some people, which is very encouraging. And talked to people for Easter. When it was Easter weekend, had a Zoom discussion where we were eating together, but in separate, had a few people in Victoria and some people in Vancouver and myself on the boat here. So I have had a lot of contact with people. So although I'm isolated, I still have my social contact. And with that, I'll say au revoir. Hope everybody's doing well in this pandemic time, in what somebody called the C19, which I think is a pretty good acronym for it, the C19 time. So I'll see you again Wish you, your family, your friends, lots of love and laughter. Till next time from Notes of a Nomad. Bye for now.